And that first trip served as an impetus to kind of now I'm kind of like, we're planning every week. What are we doing?
He's got canes of walking sticks, whatever you call them. They're like ski poles. What have you got? They're called?
Haters gonna hate, baby.
Perfect.
Hello there, guys. What's up, Rascal Gang? You join us here at the set of the 3-Star Podcast once again. I'm your host, Shaun. And again, we're not with our familiar face of Miles. Miles, we hope you're doing well. But I am joined today by Luke and Chris. How are we doing, guys?
I'm good. Thanks for having us. Us, Lukey.
We're looking all right, mate. We're doing good.
Happy to be here. The stars have aligned, they would say. We've even got producer Johnny here for us today. So we're here at the end of 2020, our penultimate episode of the year. And do you know something? I was thinking earlier on, right, what messages can we go out with? You know, it's been an interesting year for us, especially at the podcast, because we kind of had to react very quickly, move out of our old studio setting and start to take things very digital. And I think the pandemic that's hit the globe, right, has been really interesting. We've all kind of got through it, and we do hope that everyone's loved ones are safe and well. But I wanted to do this with a little bit of a spin to it, if I can.
All right, okay.
We're wrapping up 2020 of effect, and our Christmas special is available next week, guys, so keep your eyes and ears open for that. But 2020, there's a lot that we could talk about, and I think that it would all be like poo-poo, right? I'm going to ask you, what's your spin on 2020, and how has it been a good year?
Oh, Lukey, I'll let you go first.
It can be personal or it can be a global thing. There's got to be some juice in the squeeze there as to what positive messages we can leave the year in as we catapult into 21. Yeah. So, Luke, if I was to put that to you first, positives of the year, what would you lead us with?
Positives-wise, kind of a personal level, brought my first house.
I think that's a round of applause for everyone.
That's a big achievement.
And can I say, a nice home, he calls it house, it's his home. And this thing looks like, you know, the Home Alone set. You know, it looks like it's a very impressive dwelling as well, may I say. I must say.
Oh man, I can't wait to come around and see this.
Well, yeah, you've been tantalising me with that since May, since we moved in, Chris.
We've been waiting on the invite.
Yeah, exactly. Where is this invite?
So that's on a personal level. So we moved into a new house during COVID, which was quite different. But a little bit more.
Or
no, it was actually really, really useful because the missus was pregnant at the same time. So
always useful, isn't it, for carrying the boxes and stuff?
So normally, if you do it like in person with all these mortgage sign-in stuff, they would be very dubious to give a mortgage if you're pregnant. But COVID, everything was done remotely, so nobody actually knew Danielle was pregnant. So we all got through swimmingly. Everything was all right. Everything's fine and dandy.
Fudged the system.
Yeah,
so Lucas fudged the system.
There's been a slight fraud going on as well.
I don't think it's not fraudulent.
Positive of 2021. Get away with fraud. Here we go.
I imagine him going to sign the document, and they're like, and we'll also need your other half here. And like, quick, pad it out, put another hoodie on,
Well, really, it ties back into Samsung because we signed everything with my note device, and as you guys know, the S Pen's legally binding, so we didn't have to.
Here we go.
We didn't have to kind of do anything not above board because you can sign documents with a note device. So we all went through swimmingly. The daughter was
That's a professional right there, guys. See what he did? He took a personal issue and pulled in the work talk into it to remind us the note offers legally binding documents. Very good. Continue.
Always working. And then the little Posy Rose, she arrived in September. So in terms of personal levels, getting a house, having a baby within COVID times, a little bit different, but it's really helpful because normally with our jobs we're away quite a lot being national trainers, sometimes internationally. So with not being able to go out, I've been at home, since day one really. So it's been really useful.
That's really nice because obviously men and women have a different experience of the pregnancy and so forth. But then after as well, fortunately, we're in a system where maternity is offered. Paternity a little bit too short for my liking, I think still. Yeah. However, you manage to spend some valuable time with not only Danny, DC, kind of support her, but also enjoy those first few months of.
And that's the thing. I keep mentioning to Danny, if this was in normal times with how busy we are as trainers, I could be gone for a week. Yeah. And that'd just be, a nightmare for, getting used to being a new mum, etc. So it's been great. Looking forward to our first Christmas, albeit it's a little bit different. We're not too sure if you'll have to mix or not mix with households. Of course. Hopefully next year, when she's old enough to know what's going on a little bit more, it'll be a different kind of feel to the Christmas.
What have you, I think one of the questions as well is a first Christmas coming up. Have you gone crazy with presents? Or have you just...
To be fair, Danny's always making this joke because I've not brought a thing. But so I'm going to be as excited as Posey is to find out what we've brought her on Christmas Day. Yeah. Because it's still new to me.
That's like, I'll save it for the Christmas special, but that's very like my dad. Like, you open up a present. You're like, thanks, Dad. And he's like, yeah, no worries. Yeah, with the...
exactly the same.
It's like, knowing you, Luke, I can just imagine you on Christmas Day, you getting a lot more excited than Posey is. To play with your new Lego or whatever.
I've been turning the bubble machine on before she is. So that's what I can't wait for.
That's awesome though, man. But like two big things really. And I suppose two kind of massive like events within anyone's life really is kind of the buying a home and stuff, which is difficult in itself. So well done on that. And having your firstborn and stuff, which is... awesome.
with the firstborn, we were kind of lucky because September it was chilled out a little bit, so people did get to meet her. But you hear about COVID babies. Imagine in the midst of this, back in April, where you weren't allowed out and having a kid and not being able to friends and family to kind of visit, etc. So yeah, we've been really, really lucky. And in terms of technology, I don't know about you guys, but when the first lockdown happened, I've never had so many family quizzes on Zoom. With the aunties and uncles, you don't normally see that much. Every Thursday, for at least 2 months, we had a family quiz. We've not had one since because, everyone got sick of it. But it was nice that technology brought us together, from London, from up in the Midlands. So that was nice, different as well.
But talking of that, like you just mentioned there, though, like there were people that were having babies during the midst of that. If you're trying to think of like a positive for 2020, 2020's just shown people like how resilient people are. Do you know what I mean? Like
100%.
You're talking like that would have been the worst situation. That's happened to like millions of people around the world.
Oh, mate.
And you know what? They've just cracked on, haven't they? They just make the best out of it.
When you think, I think we could dwell all day, right? Because let's be honest, everyone's life has took massive changes. The biggest changes really that we're ever going to know, I hope. But I think you got a really good point. Like for the theme of the podcast, we're going to put a spin on 2020. And that's one, is like the resilience of the people. I think that's a massive shout there,
I mean, it's in terms of resilience, we've bring it back to Samsung as well. They've not changed. They've released the same amount of phones as they were released normally. They had the Note range in the middle of, when it was a little bit, hit and miss with the coronavirus. They still launched a one of our flagship major devices. Yeah. And back again.
Well, the 4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, so that's nice that they've stuck with it. But in terms of turning into a positive, me and Shaun and I are big into UFC and everything like that. Dana White was one of the first people to put on a sports event back in May, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So everything was locked down. NBA was finished, the Premier League was finished,
Olympics cancelled, Euros cancelled.
Dana White kind of thought, okay, well let's change it here, and he twisted it. And since then, we've seen boxing a bit more happening. We've seen a few more events happening. So it's nice that there's always going to be positives to come out of.
I think for us, for you and me ourselves, like Chris, because we're into the MMA scene quite a lot, and there's like. With MMA, I think obviously it's such a massive sport now, but it's still growing and still getting into like the maybe finding its mainstream audience.
Oh yeah,
and it was a moment of like being proud that our little sport was going first. Like, do you know what I mean?
And it was such a not to go too far into it. It was such a big card the first time they ever did it that we woke up and set an alarm.
Which one was it? Remind me.
It was Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje.
All right, yeah.
And then Dominic Cruz versus Henry Cejudo.
Yes,
yeah. So I have no idea about anything you guys are saying.
So we're not getting into it.
Normally in normal times that card would have been a pay-per-view sold out, but they still put on big events even in
with no crowd and stuff.
No crowd in the Apex over in Las Vegas. So that shows out of any situation, be it buying a house or having a baby, or putting on one of the biggest sporting events. Resilience and just not changing and always kind of pushing.
I agree, man. And some good point. Mate, I would say I hope that the rest of your years are much like 2020. By the way, you got
no more kids though. No more kids though.
Come on, I'm a good uncle. I can extend it out to one more, man.
You're getting dogs.
Chris, how about yourself, man? What would your thoughts be?
Well, that's it. Like 2020, isn't it? It's been a rubbish year. But then, if you think about it, 2020, in some respects, has been one of the best years. All right, okay, bear with me.
You've got to win me over on this because I'm not buying it so far.
Bear with me this. So, if you look at like the course of 2020, so much good has come from it, though. Yeah, I'm not saying there's been a lot of bad stuff, and my heart goes out to all of that. But it's had so many positives from it. You talk about if we talk about like a global 2020, you got to think ecosystem. Yeah. You were seeing waters clearer than they have ever been.
The
planet
worker
Earth
when you said ecosystem, then I thought my watch to my phone.
We'll bring that back in a minute, buddy.
Right, yeah, but you're right.
But do you know what I mean? Like the world had a chance to like heal a little bit,
reset.
Yeah, you know, it just had that little bit of breathing space, which, you know, in future, is that not something? You know, there was that 2 or 3 weeks where the whole world shut down, nothing happened.
Yeah,
is that not something that should happen on a yearly basis?
Well, I like that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So I get people like, no. But for 2 or 3 weeks, if everything just shut off, like what it did at the peak of the pandemic.
When the novelty was there. Sort of
what did we do? What did humanity do? They spent time with their loved ones. They worked on projects that they might never have thought about doing. You go on Instagram, Facebook, you're seeing a ton more new creators out there now because they've had time to sit back, think, hang on, what actually matters in life? So it's a real nice. You can put a real nice spin on 2020.
I like what you've done there, and to add a bit of meat to the bones there from what a mindset that I was kind of like reading about was twofold. Really, was first of all, I did think, and I was saying it at the time when that novelty was there. The first bit of lockdown, we did it. I mean, TV went terrible, didn't it? Because they weren't set up for like shooting at home and stuff. There was
all the repeats.
Like Sky Sports News was struggling. We played heads and tails championships in the studio today. You know what I mean? So, but at that time, I was saying that it was. We looked at what the positives were, and do you know what I thought? If every 10 years we said we're gonna have a month of lockdown, sort of thing. And Luke's looking at me as if saying, "No, thanks, mate." But it does give you a lot of opportunity to, whether that's dusting off the kind of the piano that you haven't played in ages, or connecting to. And I did do that. It goes to what you said at the beginning, Luke. Was a lot of people who I consider as really good friends, but then, you know, it is in adult life. You lose track with everyone day to day. That doesn't mean anything about your relationship with them at all. But it definitely, we did check in on each other again.
Oh yeah,
and that was nice as well.
Did you guys learn something new? Did you kind of start a project? Did you change anything when lockdown hit?
Yeah, I think everyone right at the beginning. It was great. I was doing the kind of like dropping off my parents, shopping for them, staying 2 meters away and all that. Well, we didn't even know about 2 meters then. It was like just the length of the garden. I knocked on the door, my dad answered it, and he's like, "Look at all these jogging round here." I said, "I ain't seen him jogging." As he's jogging, he ain't been jogging in 20 years, ain't he? But so I think the fitness thing was one that everyone took on. I've tried to carry some of those habits forward, and I think I'm doing well with that. So that was nice. But projects, what about yourself? Mate,
I suppose lockdown, being working from home, I've had a lot more time to work on the house, the man cave. Yeah,
love it. Featured in Backstage Live.
Featured in Backstage Live. So I've been doing a lot more to the house that I probably wouldn't do. Do you know, it sounds harsh, but even just spending more quality time with my partner.
No, that's
like, you know, man. Sometimes you just sit down, you get in a routine, you watch TV. But now, like, because there was nothing on, it was trash. We completed Netflix in a week, so we were just like, right, what should we do? You know, all right, let's actually spend some time.
Did you do any of the quizzes, family quizzes and stuff?
No, because that would not go well with my family. No.
Well, Luke, when he said there about his family ones was great because he used to send me pictures of like the screen. Everyone's involved, and every week, correct me if I'm lying, Luke. JB, Luke's dad, his mum facing forward, you know, getting involved in the quiz. The dad's asleep.
Right, that is what my family quiz would be. It was brilliant.
Yeah. But I say that in the quiz as well because as Luke and I get on really well and stuff, and I'm kind of friends within Luke's friend circle now quite a lot. But you've got mates that I've never met, like Jake Amos over in the States. Joe, I've met like 2 or 3 times maximum. But because they started this quizzing thing and I got involved, you kind of like form new friendships as well. Do you know what I mean?
It's different. It's nice. It's nice how you got the chance to do that. Like you say, Jake lives in America. You probably never met Jake.
Exactly.
When you can join a Zoom, do a quiz, it's different.
You get to know.
I mean, in terms of what I've learned differently, I cancelled the gym when it shut, and I brought a bike.
Yes,
and I'm still on my road bike. Even yesterday, you know, I bought high vis and all that kind of stuff. Started playing golf.
Yes.
So that was.
Is that a positive or a negative?
It's a positive. I love it now.
He's moved further away from me.
I used to play football all the time, right? I used to play football all the time, but then that stopped. A big hard stop to that. And having a daughter, I thought I've got more chance of getting into playing football. But when lockdown ended, golf was open because you've got to stay 2 meters apart. You're all outside. It's great. Yeah. And it's different. But you've started walking as well.
Yeah, hiking, adventuring. Don't say walking.
Sorry.
Hiking.
Yeah, so
that's something you would not necessarily done if it wasn't the only thing to do.
I think it was one of those kind of looking just out of a bit, how dare I say, like a bit of boredom and kind of like really pushing everyone wants to abide by the government ruling and stuff like that. Being outdoors was an option. You know, everyone's got a bit of a sense of adventure, I think, anyway. So Steve and Josh, Luke's mates, my mates now. You know, he hates that.
I heard they hate Luke.
We started like going on a few hikes and stuff, and then it kind of the momentum and that first trip served as an impetus to kind of now I'm kind of like we're planning every week what we're doing.
He's got canes of walking sticks, whatever you call them. They're like ski poles. What have you got? They're called?
Haters gonna hate, baby. Haters gonna
what's the
poles, man.
Poles.
And
are we doing 3 peaks?
I asked Luke every week to join us, and he don't. But he may be joining us in between Christmas and New Year to do Snowdon. I think we might do. He isn't playing. This is me also trying to put more pressure on him.
Like, isn't there a train that goes up Snowdon as well?
There's a very easy step route. I think they've put an elevator on there now, where you could pick up snacks on the way. So doing new things. But I think your point was really important there, Chris. When you say about like the world healing and stuff, tech's been really busy and brought us together. I think that was Luke that said that. Yeah. We've come together nicely, and it just goes to show, I think, in an industry where everyone is very quick to say, smartphones changing what we are, get off that phone and things like that, right? And by all means, we like to balance it up, and Samsung do a very conscious job of that balance work, that technology balance to your well-being. I think it's also really important to look at the advantages of stuff like tech. They're bringing us together in these crises. Yeah. Imagine if we went into lockdown in 1991.
Oh, you just wouldn't know.
I don't think I had enough text messages in my allowance.
Mate, I think all you had was Game Boy. You had a Game Boy, and that was it. A mobile phone in 91.
Who knows what people would have achieved even more when they couldn't watch Netflix and couldn't do all that. They had to do something hands-on or whatever. You know what I mean?
I think, you'd walk into people's houses and there's look at this statue that I created.
Or an extension.
It's an extension. Just not this what you're doing today. Just the loft extension today, darling. All right. But guys, thanks for coming along. We're wrapping up 2020, but where can everyone look forward to seeing you guys in 2021?
I don't know, look.
Well, hopefully, we'll still be in this lovely studio every Monday and Wednesday.
At what time?
Live. At
12 o'clock.
And how do we navigate our way to Backstage Live sessions?
Head to the bonus section on Backstage Live, and you'll find us right there.
Love it. Thanks very much, guys. We'll look forward to those. And to you guys, the viewers, don't forget each and every episode we give away a voucher to one of you lucky winners. All you have to do is like this video and comment below. And this week, I think we'll say, what is your positive 2020 spin? So what did you do good? We know that Luke bought a house. Congratulations again. Had a baby. Busy guy. Chris put a nice spin onto it there about the global situation as a whole. What's your positive spin on what has been a very interesting year? I look forward to seeing all your comments, guys. Join us next week for another episode of the 3 Star Podcast. Until then, stay safe, Rascal Gang.